Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Friday Night Hangout brought to you by the Craft Beer Nation. It's Friday, April 29th, and tonight our style is yet another drinker's style. Drinker's choice. But this week the twist is German beers. So any beer you want, long as it's German. Um, Before we get too far into the weeds on the styles that we're drinking and German styles of beer, period, I want to direct your attention to your nearest YouTube page. You go to YouTube and just do a search for Craft Beer Nation. When you get there, there's a little red button that says subscribe. Click it. Just do that for us. Click it, and then you can look at our videos. And you can look. We have a series called Pints and Quarts. Last night we had the opportunity to speak with brewmaster from Founders Jeremy Kosmicki. It was a lot of fun, good conversation. We got to learn a little bit about Founders. We spoke a little bit about their deal with Mao San Miguel and what's possibly going on in the future for Founders, and not just in the U.S. but globally. So check the show out. It was a good show, and it was a lot of fun. And these shows will eventually, at some point, be uploaded in podcasts, and you can pick those up on iTunes, Stitcher, Pocket Cast, any Feedburner, whatever, however you get your podcast, you can get Craft Beer Nation. You can find us on Facebook at Craft Beer Nation. We're on Google Plus. You can find us on Instagram at Craft Beer Nation, and we also tweet at CBN Community. So without further ado, German Drinker's Choice. Tonight I am joined by the one and only Jeffrey J. Davis. We are straight running the skeleton crew tonight, but we gonna be
There we
Charles
go.
just joined
50% increase.
skeleton. We are now a wolf pack of 3.
Yeah.
So
A triad. We're the triad.
try it. So Jeffrey, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing well, man. How you doing, kids? Yep. Ready to drink some German beer.
You know,
Precision,
like a
precision
poet.
mediocrity. Reinheitsgebot. Happy 500th birthday.
Hey, that was a few days ago, right?
Yeah, recently. Yeah.
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 Charles, how are you doing tonight, my man?
Doing pretty good.
Awesome,
Glad to finally
awesome.
be off work.
Oh, you just not getting off?
No, I got off earlier today.
Okay.
But I should hopefully not be working this weekend, which is nice.
I know, right? And I know that ain't because of that. I'm 100% sure that ain't your first beer.
No, this is beer number 3
7.
for the night.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
No, just number 3.
Well, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit tonight. I'm going first because I'm tired of everybody else going first and me going last.
You deserve it.
And stuff. So tonight I am drinking. Why is my camera?
Looks blurry.
It keeps like trying to see.
Yeah.
It keeps it's autofocus. Anyway, I'm drinking from Weinstefana the light. Vitus.
There you go. There you go. Yep.
There you go. I got put it angle right there. There's Vitus.
Don't move. Yeah.
This
Nice.
this is a Weizenbach. Don't pronounce it Weizenbach because we'll punch you. Well, not us, but German people will. And so in comparison to regular Bach beers, right? The regular Bach beers are usually made with mostly malted barley, right? The Weizenbach is made with up to 70% of 60 to 70% of wheat malt. Why does my camera keep doing this? 60 to 70% of wheat malt. Essentially, it's an unfiltered Weiss beer or unfiltered Hefeweizen, right? The other 30%, it can be anywhere between Pilsner malt, Vienna malt, or Munich malt, or whatever. Anyway, the fun thing that I just learned about this beer, I'm gonna stop acting like I'm an expert in the style because I'm not. But Jeffrey and I were just talking. Unlike the regular Bach beers, how they're lagers, Weizenbachs are not. They're ales. So I learned something new. I thought all Bachs were lagers. Maybe they are. Maybe all Bachs are lagers, just not Weizenbachs. All except for Weizenbachs. So this is very interesting. Nonetheless, forgive me for drinking it out of a well, don't forgive me because I don't care. I'm drinking this out of a Duvel glass. As you can see, definitely unfiltered. You ain't seeing no trace of Randy through that. Crazy yeasty esters going on here, man. Like, everything you expect from a Hefeweizen, right? The whole like banana, the clove, the yeast. The yeast is prominent in these beers, just like like in Belgian beers. You know, the yeast plays a big role. Same thing with these with the Weizenbachs. It's such like a nice fruity smell that you don't get with that you typically get. I think the fruity nose in this beer is more prominent than it is in a Hefeweizen, a regular Hefeweizen. I don't know why that may be, but I am not complaining. You can see how the head is just like a perfect white head. You know, you can drum it up. You can drum it up a little bit, but it's gonna settle back down to about a half a finger or so.
And
This beer,
pretty turbid though, right? I mean,
yeah,
you see a
it's
lot of
super.
wheat in there.
Well, no, well,
It's
honestly,
unfiltered. I mean,
yeah, it's unfiltered, but it's I don't see much wheat in it.
okay.
I don't see flow. It's almost like a New England style IPA where it's just super hazy, not chunky. It's just straight haze for days, as they say. You can see, so it's starting to settle back down. It's right about a 3/4 of a finger head. Let me go ahead and put a taste on it, eh? Cheers. So medium mouthfeel. It's only 7.7%, and I think that I'm gonna drink a lot of this summer, along with my Lily Kawai Capolo and my Hella High Watermelon, because this beer, I mean, it's almost summer in a glass with the fruit tones that are going along with it. Um, so easily drinkable. There's no bite at all. It's just this beer runs down your throat, man. So I don't appreciate this beer until we do this style on Friday nights.
Yeah.
Because other than that, I don't buy it. But I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna stake a claim today. I'm gonna start buying this. Well, not all the time, but I'll buy it more. I'll buy it 2 more times a year. But yeah, it's a it's a great beer, man. And y'all know, Jeffrey Charles, I struggled for a while with wheat beer. Period. I didn't really care for it, but maybe I'm thirsty. But this bad boy is drinking nicely. Could have had something to do with the fact that I had KBS earlier today, and this is a nice.
It's a 180 degrees, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, beautiful beer. Not only in nose and aroma, nose, not only in nose and mouthfeel, but just in appearance as well. Beautiful beer, man. Cheers to Vine Stefano. I don't think these guys can do anything wrong.
Yeah, there, a lot of people, put the Weinstefaner as kind of their style reference for Hefeweizen. So it's definitely, top tier Weizen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What are you drinking tonight, Jeff?
Well, I think you guys know from prior hangouts, I'm a big fan of George's Schneider and Sons, Schneider Weiss Brewery. I love these guys. I love basically everything they make. Every time I go to Munich, I go to Weiss's Brauhaus am Tal. It's really killer. If you ever go to Munich, you have to go there. It's a great restaurant, and they have just all their taps from 1 to 11, on tap, and it's just so killer. So I'm drinking tap 6, which is the Unser Aventinis. This is their Weizen Doppelbock. So it's a Doppelbock Weiss beer. It's 8.2%. It's 50-50 wheat and barley. It's I think the hops are Hallertau and Magnum. It's a beautiful beer, and I'm full proper tonight. Okay, I got the Aventinis glass. I'm wearing
this guy out.
Yeah, Mönchengladbach, Borussia Mönchengladbach jersey. So yeah, so I'm full props tonight, and
Jeffrey's all in.
I'm all in, man, and I do. We only got 3 people, so I might actually get through all 3 of my Schneider Weisse beers in this 1 hour, but we'll see. But it's
I'm anxious to hear about your second one.
Yeah, okay, it's coming. It's a beautiful beer. It's got that that amber, almost ruby, ruby color to it. You know, it pours with a huge head, but I poured this thing like 3 minutes ago, so it's already subsided, maybe 10 or 15. But this beer, it's not that close to a normal Weizen style. You don't get huge banana and cloves in the nose. It's more bready. You get a lot of bready notes, malty, dark fruit, maybe like figs or raisins. You get, there's esters, there's fruity esters, but it's just not a banana bomb like a lot of classic Hefeweizens. But man, the flavor is so good, and the thing I love about a good Weizenbock or a Weizen Doppelbock is it's really satisfying. It's not a heavy beer, but you get this kind of a little bit of a warming, and just it feels good going down, and it feels good like when it's in your belly, so get in my belly. It's just a great beer, but it's very drinkable, as Randy said, but at 8.2%, couple 500 milliliter bottles, and you know it for sure.
It's a Weizenbach, you said, right?
Weizen Doppelbock, so a little bit stronger than a normal Weizenbock,
and totally different color from mine, right?
Yeah. And this is totally clear, Randy. I mean, you can't really see it from your side, but it's almost like it's filtered. So I almost want to say it's got to be filtered, but there's no wheat and there's no yeast in that at all. It's quite clear, actually. You can see straight through it. Unfortunately, you can still see me through the thing, not like what Randy said with his. Yeah. But yeah, it's a great beer. It's like I said, I mean, I love these guys. My favorite beer, like my favorite German beer in the world, is their Tap 5, Tap 5, the Mein Hopfenweizen. I couldn't find that tonight. I would love to be drinking that. I strongly encourage anybody, if you ever see that Tap 5, buy it on site. It's an amazing beer because it's a really unique hybrid of a Hefeweizen with very hop-forward presence, and I'm really surprised nobody else makes a beer like that because it is so drinkable, and I think it would totally appeal to a lot of American craft drinkers. But this is a great beer too.
So it's like a cross between a Hefeweizen and maybe like an English style or a German version of what would be a German IPA.
It's pretty hoppy. I don't know what the IBUs are, but it's probably over 50 IBUs. I mean, you'd like it. Trust me, it's an awesome beer. Yeah. So that's what I'm drinking. Cheers. Tap 6. Yep.
Cool.
Charles.
I will follow that up with Schneider Weiss's Tap 7.
My man, Georgie, in the house. That wasn't even pre-orchestrated, man.
The OG.
Nope.
Yeah.
No. And I actually have Aventinus as my beer afterwards. So.
Okay, good.
I decided to go with
tasting notes.
Yep. And this is the Tap 7. This is basically their wheat beer. Yep. Their Hefeweizen. And this is I still always go to the Weihenstephaner as the best Hefe in the world, but this is probably just as good. I mean, you get your banana and your clove, but this one has like a light citrus to it too, that I think gives it a little different. I don't remember getting that kind of citrusy stuff out of the Weihenstephaner one. But again, just and it's a bit darker than your normal Hefe, I suppose. But it seems that a lot of Schneider Weiss's beers are darker than some traditional ones.
They make a Mein Cristal. I think it's Tap 4 maybe, but that's pretty clear, But most of their beers tend to be a little bit on the darker side.
Yeah, and this one is it's Hallertau and Magnum as far as the hops go,
yep.
And it's 60-40 barley and wheat barley, and 14 IBUs.
Wow!
And I was looking at their website, and it says that Aventinus is only 16 IBUs.
Yeah, 16. Yeah, it's not bitter. There's nothing there. It's malty, but there's no. You almost don't know there's hops there.
Yeah, but that Hoppen, was it the Hopfenweizen?
Right, Hopfenweizen. What is that? What did they say? 40 IBUs.
Yeah.
40 IBUs. Yeah.
40.
It's crazy.
That is a spectacular beer. I can't get that here either. I have to go up to Ithaca to get that.
It's
I mean,
crazy
I don't
how
always
beer,
have it in
we're
there.
saying a beer at 40 IBUs is hoppy.
For it's I think it's for the style, Randy. It's you taste this and you're like, whoa. I mean, this beer's it's got some alpha acid to it, for a Hefeweizen. So that's what kind of gets you, because it's got all the bananas and everything you think of in Hefeweizen, but it's got it's just got that little bit of bitterness to it, which is really cool.
Yeah, and I think I've had about 5 of their different the variations of the taps, whatever, from Schneiderweiss, and all of them are outstanding.
Yeah, I've done. I hate to say it, but I've done the complete round, 1 to 11 and the ice box in the same sitting a couple of times, and one of those I missed my flight from Munich to Dusseldorf. Yeah, and ended up sleeping in the airport. So yeah,
I could understand that.
Yeah.
I got to see what their Tab X is this time around. I haven't.
No,
next time I go up to.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but it's. I saw it on their website, Charles. They've got it's a like a anniversary beer for the Reinheitsgebot.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like Mein Madeline or something. I haven't even seen anything about it, but I just noticed it on their website today, so I'll be looking for that.
What was that?
Oh, I'll have to look.
It's their,
too.
They have this series, Randy, this Tap X, which is like their, kind of specialty beers that are, it's kind of like an annual release, and they're usually pretty cool. The one that's really good, and you can still find it. It's the one that I think it's probably been their most popular, and they've brewed it 2 or 3 times. Is the Mein Nelson Sauvin. So it's a Hefeweizen, just with the Nelson Sauvin hop, and it's really nice beer. It's almost wine-like. It's like drinking a Chardonnay almost, but that's a really good beer, and they still have that on the shelves in my bottle shop. I think they've brewed that like 3 years, and it's still around, 750 of that. And the other one that I think I had it on one of the Hangouts that I think they only brewed it once, is a Mein Porterweizen, which is just like a combination porter and Dunkelweizen. I mean, it's really unique beer, but I think they only brewed that one time. So every year they have one of these kind of special Tap X releases.
So Freddie's working tonight, but he's saying that he loves Tap 5 and 6 easily in his top beers from them. So
he's like chiming in even though he's in the middle of a cron job.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Jeffy, he says that you're looking better than ever on camera. Woo!
Thanks. I'm getting ready to do my Kilroy lean in. So he's actually watching. That's cool. Shit, he ain't working that hard. Tell him to dial in, man.
Well, I don't know what exactly he's doing.
He's watching though. He must be watching on his phone. Like, okay, whatever.
Nice. I haven't had a chance to get the Mein Porter, but I have had the Savan one, and their other the Aventinus, the Cuvée, was it Barrique?
Yeah, Barrique. That's good too. Yeah, actually, that Mein Porterweizen, I've never seen that in the U.S. I met a girl on Google Plus, Kristen Ryan, and she was doing like social media for them, and she saw something on Craft Beer Nation, and she said, "Hey, we're getting ready to release this. Do you want one?" And I said, "Yeah." They shipped me a bottle direct, free of charge, directly from the brewery. I said, "Hey, I'll review this. I'll pimp this all over the place. Just let me try it." I've never seen it in the store, but yeah, it was quite unique.
Cool.
So I'm gonna go on to my second beer.
Do it.
Here I am. I almost never get to my second beer on camera because I'm always going last.
Quit whining about going last.
Shut up.
There's only 3 of us.
Shut up. So I think I may have had this beer. Didn't we have a Doppelbock night one time?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so I don't know if I had this beer or somebody else had it, or maybe we thought somebody was going to have it, but I'm going with probably one of my favorite Doppelbocks, and that's the Einger Celebrator.
Celebrator.
So this beer is technically this is their winter, their strong winter lager. I don't know how they get strong out of a 6.7% beer, But nonetheless, according to the German Beer Institute, this is their strong winter lager. And I know what this beer tastes like, but I'll go through the whole process for you guys because I like pleasing the people. So on the nose, you get absolute malt. It smells like somebody just mashed in on the nose of this beer.
Really?
Smells like somebody just mashed in, or it smells like they like so you just walk past a bag of open barley, and you know how you see the thing with Jim Coke from Sam Adams. He gets the hops and he rubs them and he smells it. Well, it's not just him, but everybody who shops for hops, they do that. This smells like you did the same thing with like, you know, maybe like some Crystal 80 or above, some darker roasted crystal malts, and you just rub it together and jam your nose in it. That's exactly what this smells like. And then it lends its way to like that malty sweetness starts putting you in the minds of like maybe raisins and possibly some dates or something like that. Really super complex nose, especially for a beer that's only 6.7%. It looks black in this. It looks black in this glass, but
black beers matter, man.
But the beer isn't black. It's like I'm gonna keep it moving. It's like a really dark, almost like a
chestnut or ruby,
like a super dark ruby.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and taste this because I love this beer. Man. So cheers, y'all.
Cheers. By the way, I like that Duvel glass, man. Even though it's like off country, that's a sick glass.
Yeah, I jacked this. I don't remember from where, but yeah.
Yeah.
On air, huh?
Yeah,
Everybody,
just did.
You've done it before. Charles has done it before. All of y'all have done it before. So don't play me.
That's why you wear a hoodie, man, just in case they got some cool glassware you can put in them front pockets.
No, you can wear a hoodie. I can't see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, dark malt roast. I mean, not roasted malt like out of a stout or nothing like that. No like roasty like chocolate or anything. Well, maybe you can pull some chocolate from this, but definitely not like any coffee or anything like that. It's just like perfectly roasted malts that's gonna, you know, that's to the point where it's releasing a whole lot of like roasty right at the beginning of releasing roasty flavors, but still allowing you to get like some dark pitted fruit undertones to this bad boy. This is a good drinker right here. And if primarily when I drink Box, my first choice is usually a Doppelbock. It's usually my first choice. And if I'm drinking a Doppelbock, my first choice is always Celebrator. I will say I had a Doppelbock from Holy City down in Charleston, South Carolina. I cannot remember the name of it to save my life, but it was like a 10% Doppelbock, and that bad boy, like they must have put molasses in it because it was crazy sweet. Like it was, like you get a crowler of that and you're gonna share it. You don't want to.
Wow. Yep.
You don't want to drink a whole 32 of that, man. But yeah.
Do you know? Do they can that or bottle that? Have you ever seen it?
Nah, I only had it. I got a crowler of it when I was there.
Because I mean, Holy City can do no wrong, so I would love to try their take on a Doppelbock.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they can brew.
Yeah. So Jeffrey, you on beer number 2?
Yeah, actually I am, guys. So you know, we were talking about all these Tap X's, and you know, this is a 2015 Tap X. This is the Eisbach Barrique. So this is their Aventinus Eisbach, aged for 15 months in German Pinot Noir barrel. So this thing sells in a little, you know, usually their Tap X is kind of like a cool bottle shape. The Nelson Sauvin is like a it's a 750, but it's kind of a very unique bottle shape. It's not like anything you've seen. And I saw this thing. I'm like, what is that? Like balsamic vinegar or something? And and I don't remember what I paid for it, but I remember it was like I had to think about it, before buying it. It was just stupid expensive, but I'm like, I'm never going to see this again, so I got to try it because I'm such a Schneider Weisse fanboy. But yeah, and so I poured this thing like before we even went on air. It was totally still. Obviously, it still is. It's kind of a very, very dark chestnut to ruby. If you look at it through the light, it's a nice ruby, but in normal conditions, it's just dark brown. The nose is the first thing you get is really like kind of raspberry, maybe vanilla, fruit, but like a little bit of vanilla there, and then I would guess this is like a BFM beer, like a barrel aged BFM as opposed to a German beer. It's got that.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
BFM.
Yeah, the Swiss guys, Brasserie. Shit, I forgot what it stands for. But the Swiss guys, everything they do is barrel aged, and it's weird wine barrels and stuff like that. So they're really, they're real vinous. You get this, like kind of balsamic, acetic notes. It's not a sour beer, but it's super woody. You get a lot of barrel wood. You get fruit like plums and raspberries. A little. I keep getting like this vanilla at the back of it. But it's. I mean, I would never guess this was an Eisbach. I mean, it's. I don't know. It's just a cool. It drinks like a cool fortified, barrel aged, almost like a Flemish, Flemish red or something. I mean. But it's totally still. I mean, this is a 2015, and I could put this thing in a blender, and it would be, I wouldn't be able to get head off of this thing. I mean, but it's a great beer. It's very unique. Honestly, I'm not sure I would buy it again for whatever I paid, $17 or whatever. But I can say I have it now, and I got pictures of it to prove it. So it adds to my life experience collection.
I said I could put this in a blender and I wouldn't be able to get near.
You wouldn't, man. I mean, it's one of those beers that's like totally still. I mean, it's not even carbonated. There's no carbonation whatsoever.
Nice.
But I think it's like super rare. I mean, there's not even any reviews of it on Beer Advocate. So I think it's pretty limited. So I had it once.
Yeah. Charles, you managed to put down your first beer? You managed to run through it yet?
No, I'm still working on it. Almost done though.
Oh, okay. So Jeffrey, once again, that style that you're drinking.
Yeah.
What is it again?
It's Eisbach. It's their
Aventinus
Eisbach aged in German Pinot Noir barrels for 15 months. So it's which is weird because the Eisbach is carbonated. It's like it must lose everything. Maybe it's kind of not a pressurized aging, and just let it get totally still. But it's just straight. As I understand it, it's just straight Eisbach aged for 15 months in German Pinot barrels.
How does it compare to the regular Eisbach? I mean, it's still as so? You said that this kind of reminded you of a Flemish, right? So it's obviously not as sweet as.
It's not sweet at all. It's not sour, but if anything, you would describe this as tart. If I did this in a blind tasting, I would have guessed this is a beer from BFM or like a cuvee, Pico Brewery Alvin, like these, woody aged kind of semi-sour Belgian beers,
So nobody would guess Eisbach.
No way. And by the way, that is my third beer, so I can do a comparison here in like 45 seconds.
I gotta tell you, man, like that the Eisbach, your third beer, that beer is, I think that beer is underappreciated.
I agree.
I agree. And it's not expensive at all.
No, you can buy it for I think I paid $3.95 or $4.95 for and it's like 11% or something, 12%.
And so when you think about the process of making an ice pack, they actually have to like
Yeah.
they brew the beer, they have to freeze it, then they have to get the ice off, and they freeze it again, they scrape the ice off, freeze it again, scrape the ice off. How in the hell do they sell that beer for $4? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? With that being, you know, the process.
In the U.S., already imported and stuff, so yeah, I mean, and that beer, it's, we can talk about it a little bit more in a few minutes, but I mean, that's a great beer, and you can find it. I mean, I think most people, they just don't know what it is. Eisbach, it's got that weird purple label, and they're like, I don't even know what that means, and so
Yeah.
they don't try it, but it's quite cool beer. But I think this, you almost lose a lot of the, I don't want to say lose the complexity, but it's really muted and mellowed compared to the normal straight Eisbach, where you just, you got that huge kind of sweetness and maltiness and all those fruits that are kind of blended in there. This one's, way more kind of subdued and chilled out.
Yeah.
It's definitely woody. Woody though would be the, like, one of the main adjectives I say. I mean, you get a lot of kind of this earthy woodiness that you don't get at all in the normal Eisbach.
Mm-hmm. That sounds interesting. I would love to try that.
Yeah, if you see it, it's worth buying. Just because it's unique. I mean, it's not something you're going to stock up on and session, but I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's totally, to me, this is like, to say, I was joking a little bit earlier to say Reinheitsgebot is precision mediocrity. There's only so much you can do with 4 ingredients, but I mean, it's a compliant beer, and it's pretty cool. I mean,
yeah. Cool.
Yep.
So, Charles, still working?
I'm still still working.
Put your scale down, Charles. Be a man. Kill it.
You do have another beer queued. You do have another beer queued up, right, Chuck?
Yeah, I've got the Aventinus.
Okay, so we
I haven't had their I haven't had their Eisbach though. I haven't actually seen that yet here.
Really? I mean, typically what I see is because I think they've got pretty good distribution. I don't know who the company is that does their distribution. It's I don't know. It's not imported by United International, whoever that is. But I typically see like either Tap 7 or Tap 6 and the Eisbach. So it seems like they, at least most bottle shops I go, they they have the Eisbach along with 1 or 2 of the big runners, which is usually 6 or 7. So, but maybe your shop's different.
I think the Eisbach style was I think it was on accident that it was created.
Yeah. We talked about that a lot when we had that, whatever that was, either lagers. I actually think it was a lager. It was like a German lager or something. Hangout was a style, and a couple of us were trying to push the envelope, and that's when Gil started saying that that's just a legend, that's not really true, that it was discovered by accident on the, in a covered wagon on the way back from the brewery. But who knows,
I strongly believe that it was an accident.
I agree too.
The legend the legend, I say legend.
Legend of Zelda.
They brewed the beer. They left it outside. It got cold that night. The beer partially froze. They scraped the ice off, and then they discovered like, oh, this beer tastes good. Let's do this again.
Yeah.
More or less.
I mean, that sounds plausible, Randy, and I'd like that. It makes sense. It's and it's just more interesting than some guy saying, "Oh, that didn't happen." There's no scientific proof of that.
Yep, and that Tap X, the Aventinus Cuvée Baruch, is the Aventinus and the Eisbach, both aged separately in wines. I forget what the type of wine bottle barrel. And then they're blended together.
There's 2 though. There's 2, Chuck. You're right. That was like the 2014, the one you're talking about. That's called the Aventinus Baruch. But
yeah,
I'm pretty sure this one from last year is purely Eisbach. It's not a blend. There's 2 different beers, I think.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, because that's the other one it's a totally different bottle than that.
Yep. Yeah.
The Aventinus Cuvée is like the tall. It's a really skinny bottle.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
But yeah, anytime I see a Tap X, I grab it now.
Yep. You should, because they're they're kind of collectible, and they're not. Other than this one, they're not normally that outrageous. I mean, the Nelson Sauvin, I can get that for like I think $11.95 for $7.50, and it's well worth that.
Wow, and that was expensive up in Ithaca. That was around $20
Wow.
for that one.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, but I knew it was going to be worth it. So
Exactly.
And by the way, if you get celebrated, you get this since it's a Bock. I think Bock is German for goat. You get a little white goat on your bottle, and I saved you.
Yeah, I finally had that for the first time just a couple months ago.
Celebrator?
Yeah. It's one of those beers that I kept going, I'll get to that. It was really, really good.
I
enjoyed it. I'll definitely be buying that again.
I put these on my Christmas tree.
That's a ghetto ass Christmas tree right there, man. But it's good.
Wait, what are you trying to say?
I'm gonna go grab my Aventinus. I'll be right back.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I think you know, by and large, I think that German beer styles are, well, I mean, we brew American versions of Hefeweizens, but I think some of the authentic German styles by the German breweries oftentimes get overlooked in America simply because we have our craft beer scene is so dominant, right?
Yep.
I mean, and especially within America, it's a dominant craft beer scene, and it's all about these big, massive flavors that aren't necessarily or typically associated with European styles of beers. But every once in a while, I think it's good to go back and revisit like a nice, have a German beer night. You know what I'm saying? Go to the store and on a Friday, and you know, if you're not doing anything, go get 2 German beers. Not German, regular German adjunct lagers or nothing like that. But get 2 German beers like what we're doing tonight, and just dissect it and pay attention to the what you can recognize to be the craft of making that beer. There's nothing off about.
Yeah,
I've never had anything off about these beers, right?
Yeah, and
They're
I think Randy, you know, and like Boris will tell you this when he gets back. I mean, I think there's a kind of another level of styles that never make it to the U.S. that are really cool, you know, and you know, and they have these things there. That's called a Trinkmarkt. It's like a Walmart for beer. I mean, it's like you go in this thing like Costco, and it's just rows and rows of beers, you know, and a lot of them are, you know, Hefeweizens and pills, you know, literally like, you know, 50 brands that you've never heard of. But there's, you know, there's also Keller beer, there's, you know, Storm beer, there's, you know, Wald beer, there's Alts. I mean, so there's all these styles that are, they're really cool and they're all unique. They're all Reinheitsgebot compliant, you know, pretty much, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just made this practice. If I would just go and literally, I would just like take one of each brewer I'd never heard of and go try them, you know. And there's some really, really cool beers, you know.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, I mean, in the U.S., you know, you get Weizen, you know, you get pills, and almost that's it. I mean, that's 90% of the German beers you see on the U.S. shelf, even at a craft place. You know?
Yeah, and I think also with American styles, you know, we tend to take more risks, so there's more opportunities for our beer, for some of our styles to get like infected. But since in Germany they have strict adherences, like I bet you almost never come across a bottle of infected German beer.
Yeah, I would say that's true. I mean, you know, and I'm not sure it's, you know, maybe partially it's the ingredients, but I mean, it's more just the, you know, their manufacturing protocol is quite strict, and you know, they don't mess around with anything relating to purity or cleanliness. So yeah, I've never had a funked beer over there. You know, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I've never had one at least. So, oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, tired, Charles.
No, that's Again, the Aventinus.
Yeah.
I would be drinking it out of my Schneiderweiss glass, but it broke last year,
man.
so hopefully I can find another one at some point.
Yeah.
So I'm going with my Ommegang.
It matches your
Not too
shirt.
far away from Germany, so.
Yeah, kind of. But that's a classic beer, though, right? I mean, don't you like that beer?
Which one is that
I
again?
love this. This is the Aventinus. The
Tap 6.
wheat Doppelbock. Yep, Tap 6.
Doppelbock.
Yeah, the wheat Doppelbock.
I think I'll pick that up tomorrow. What's the ABV on that bad boy?
9.2 or what is it? Or
yeah,
8?
It's a bigger beer. Let's see.
It's crazy that so that Doppelbock is that high, but my Doppelbock is 6.7.
8.2. It's 8.2. Yeah. Yours is only a Bock, Weizenbock, right? This is a Doppelbock.
This is a double Bock.
Okay, you got ripped off, bro.
Well, you go to Celebrator and tell them they're fucking up. Go to Inger and tell them they're fucking up Celebrator. Yeah,
but typically, like literally over there, I mean, you drink with German guys, they're pounding like 7 of these. So the difference between 8.2 and 9.2 is pretty. It's rounding there. Oh wow, that's different. That's cool. That's a good comparison, man.
Yeah, this is the Tap 7, the Heavy, and this is the Tap 6, the Aventinus.
Yep.
Okay.
And mine's pretty cloudy.
It's weird because the one, I'm pretty sure that's the only other beer I had. I mean, mine was quite clear. I mean, almost like filtered, Charles. I mean.
Wow.
Yeah,
mine is. You can't really see through mine at all.
And I spun. I mean, are you sure your glass wasn't just funky, dirty when you?
Oh no, I rinsed the glass and everything.
I'm looking at this bottle, and there's a lot of yeast in the bottom of that thing.
Okay.
So I don't know how old it is.
It's just settled a lot, I guess.
Yeah, it could be totally settled because I was showing Randy like the way they pour it, in Germany, where they literally dip the bottle in the head of the beer below the surface and just spin the hell out of it, and they make this like tornado of yeast, which makes it really turbid. I think the bottle I have may be settled enough that all the yeast is kind of dried on the bottom. Damn it.
There's zero yeast on the bottom of mine.
Yeah.
This one, if it's I guess a European date, this is probably bottled on September 14th, 2015, if that's what that is.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is on the. Probably not gonna. I don't have Simon Martin's camera that just autofocuses instantly for him.
Yeah, mine says 15.008. So that's probably like August 15, right? 301014, something like that.
Mine doesn't have a bottle date on my Celebrator.
So you're getting ripped off at all angles, Randy.
Shut up, Jeffrey.
And I love their bottle, their labels, and everything.
Yeah.
They just got such a classic.
And the cap, the cap is unique for each beer, So yeah, it's cool.
Yep.
And the thing that's cool, like when you go to their Weiss's Brauhaus, you order the Eisbock, they pour it in this little. It's the same glass as this, but it's like really small and it's like frosted.
Oh, nice.
Not like cold, but it's like got this like frosted texture to it. So icy, the Eisbock. Das ist die Eisbock. Yeah.
Yeah. My next trip to the beer shop up in Ithaca, I'm going to take a look at their whole Schneiderweiss collection to see what they've got that I haven't had yet.
Yeah.
I've had most of the ones I can get here. I've had but I'm always checking them out to see if they've got another one of those apps in there.
I think like Randy said, I think they're for whatever reason a little bit under, not underappreciated, but it's not. A lot of people don't think of them as kind of like top 5 German breweries, and for me, they're they're right up there.
Well, and Jeffrey, I think also part of it is when we think of craft beer, we don't think of these guys.
Yeah.
But they absolutely are.
Yep.
I mean, this was craft before craft was
exactly
before craft was cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So the original craft brewers, we need to throw them some love. I mean, I'm not saying they're doing it the best way, but
Tap 6, they've been brewing this since 1907. Same recipe. Right. So I mean, shit. I mean, tradition, bro.
There's a reason why they've been making it for that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see
And
how long.
talking about bargains too. I mean,
Yeah,
this is what, like 3 something, I think, where I am.
Yeah, and that's a 500 milliliter. I mean, that's a
Yeah. Yeah,
that's an
you can't
imported beer.
beat that.
That's an imported beer that's cheaper than we can get
Yeah.
domestic beer, domestic craft here.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's world class stuff too. So.
Yep.
And Inger has been brewing beer since 1878.
Yeah, I mean these guys, it's tradition there, so that's what's cool, and it's not like, it's not like they've changed the recipes. I mean, I think Schneider does all these, that's their Tap X is their kind of excuse to try different stuff, but most of these guys, they've been brewing kind of the same formulation for a long time.
And that's again one of the things that I really like about beer is it does come down to the brewers too. It's like they're all pretty much using the same stuff, and they're all making the same style, but all of them will have their own just slight flair to it. There's slight uniqueness to it.
Mm-hmm.
But George, but Chuck, I mean, you think about it, and it's like, American craft is so creative. We love the breadth, but they have total flexibility with ingredients, and if you think about making a beer with 4 ingredients, and you got the range from a Rausch beer to a Pils and everything a Doppelbock, an Eisbock, and everything in between, just from water, malt, yeast, and hops. I mean, it's pretty impressive. They can brew. They can brew.
It is. It's pretty remarkable what they can do with just 4 ingredients.
When we were two Thursdays ago, we interviewed Insight Brewing out of Minneapolis, and before the show, I was talking to the owner, and I was telling him, I was like, the thing that I like about craft beer is that you can take these 4 ingredients, just 4 ingredients, and make with it. Well, for the most part, make a gambit of beers that people will come and give you money for. Like that's 4 ingredients, you can make a whole bunch of different liquids, and they all taste unique and amazing in their own right. That's incredible to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this Schneider Weiss is a perfect example because they have tap 1 through 10 pretty much.
Yep. 11. Yeah.
Through 11, and they have managed, and they're all different from each other.
Yep.
And yet they stick to that the Reinheitsgebot.
The Reinheitsgebot.
And hey, just for reference, I mean, if you really want to be stimulated, I mean, you can go to their website and download high resolution wallpapers of every one of their beers in a bottle,
nice.
With big creamy head, in a case, in a keg. I mean, they've got a lot of stimulation capability on their website.
Cool.
All right, so I mean, I think we've exhausted German drinker's choice. I mean, it goes without question. I think the 3 of us certainly have an appreciation for the style. We have a pretty healthy respect for what the German brewers are, even though at the same time we are American craft beer. That's what Craft Beer Nation is about. Well, no,
is it or not? Yeah, no, but it is kind of. I
mean, Craft Beer Nation is about craft beer, period. And whether it be American craft beer or German craft beer or Belgian craft beer or whatever, it's about craft beer, period. So, I mean, and I like to encourage, if you're watching or if you're gonna watch, we have some fantastic beer here in the States. But a lot of the styles that we brew here are based off of German styles or based off of European styles. So sometimes it's good to kind of take a step back and go back to the basics and see what the baseline tastes like, and then doing those things will help you get a super appreciation for the baseline style and maybe a new appreciation for what we're brewing here in America, because the Eisbock, the Aventinus Eisbock, the regular Eisbock, I mean, if you close your eye and you drink that beer, I mean, you would think that maybe you're drinking some type of barley wine, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's such an amazing style of beer, and for it to be a Bock, you'd never guess it because we don't explore that style enough. So I encourage you to, go buy some German beers, particularly from some of the breweries that we spoke about tonight, the Eyingers, the
Schneiderweisse, yep.
Weihenstephaner, the Erdinger, the Erdinger. I mean, like those people make fantastic beer. If you see Corbinian, who makes Corbinian? Is that
It's Weihenstephaner.
Weihenstephaner, Corbinian. That's an amazing beer. It's a great beer. So try some of these styles, man. You'll be
and like Randy's saying, and kids, the Stone IPA and the Lagunitas, brown sugar, it's great beers, but they're going to be there every week, man. I mean, take a stop by this aisle and just try one, just mix it up a little bit. I mean, you may be impressed.
Yeah. Charles, you got any final thoughts on German beer? No, Germans.
Well, we need another hour for that. No, they make some great beer. There are like, if I ever make it to Germany at some point, Schneiderweisse is one of my stops. I'll be mapping out. Some people will probably travel looking at great historical places and moments, and I'll be like, okay. Where's this brewery? Where's this brewery? Where's this brewery?
My man.
Yep. Let me know if you ever get ready to do that trip, Charles. I can key you in some coordinates. Yep.
We'll do.
So, one of my friends is stupid. Next week, I just with the help of Freddie, I just started a style for next week. It's not really a style; it's a format. The beer. We're all drinking 750s.
Okay.
So plan accordingly, right? If you're prone to getting faded, you might want to get a 750 of a Berliner Weiss.
You said you did say 750s plural, right?
No, I'm not drinking 750s.
You are, man. What's the difference from any other normal Friday night hangout, man?
Well,
I'm usually cracking 3 750s.
Well, you know what? Let's do 750s.
Okay.
I won't be here next week, so I'm out of town next week. So I don't know if one of you guys are going to be hosting, Charles, whoever, somebody else. It won't be me hosting next week. I'll tell you that.
So you can name whatever style you want, man.
Man, I'm kind of mad. Man, you know how many 750s I have that I need to get through? I got 3 750s right behind me right now. I got 2 750s right here on the floor. One being Hammerhead Speedway Stout.
Yeah, looks like Ale Smith, right?
Yeah, it's a Hammerhead Speedway Stout. This is
what is that?
Espresso and coffee.
Okay.
And then this is Vietnamese Coffee Speedway Stout.
Why you not drink me? You should drink me now.
Oh, Jeffrey. Okay. Please send all emails to jeffrey.j.davis@gmail.com. I, for one, I love Vietnamese people.
Me too, man.
So nonetheless, we are gone. Next week, 750s. And until next week, ladies and gentlemen, cheers.
For real, kids. Yeah, cheers, bro.